Hey, what's up, guys? Here we are on a Sunday night, and I usually will wait till Monday to do my video follow-up on the games. But there's no reason. I'm not even going to get loud. I'm not angry at all. Because when your team is already dead, flat as a pancake, and your offense has two Bozo the Clown quarterbacks playing, that honestly, it's an achievement just to pass the 50-yard line on a football field. Forget about scoring points. I mean, if you were pondering the thought of a touchdown drive, you better just forget about it and wait for next year, man. I mean, between Glennon and Fromm, I think in the last 4 games, without Daniel Jones, this offense is averaging 4 points a game. I believe 4, maybe 5. To say that's a disgrace is a major understatement. I mean, right now, we're not even putting in offensive product on the field, man. This offense is terrible. I could find other words. I'm at a loss of words when you talk about this offense, man. And the offense is a disgrace. It's an embarrassment to the sport. The New York Giants, in the last few years, have gotten lower and lower. But I think we've sunk to an all-time historic low right now. Honestly, it can't get worse. It really can't, man. I mean, right now, the Giants are unwatchable. They're an unwatchable football team. You sit there, you look forward to the NFL every week, man. I mean, we cherish these games. There's only so many of them in a lifetime, right? Once a week for 17 weeks. Now it's 18, 17 games. And all we do is, as Giant fans, and it ain't just our streams with our guys, you know, the guys I've become close with the Big Blue Crew, other friends, other groups around, you know, the Northeast, even around the country. You're looking forward to the game anymore? You're not looking forward to the game anymore, man. Because how can you as a fan, honestly now, let's be honest with ourselves. How, as a fan, can you look forward to the New York Giants football game when your heart wants to be good and win, but your mind is telling you you better lose? Because winning will only keep us in this shitty disaster we've been in for more years. And losing out gets you the best available picks and the top quality players that are coming out of college. So you actually turn on a game hoping to see something. But then in the back of your head, you know, I want to play 3.5 great quarters, but let's find a way to lose this game 27-24. Right? Come on now. Don't lie to yourself. Don't sit there and say, no, I really want to win. Because if you really want to win right now, you're only doing yourself a disservice. Man, winning is losing right now, and losing is winning. We have 2 more games left in the season, and I hope we get blown out in both of them. And if you think that doesn't pain me to say that as a diehard Giant fan of 36 years, it do. But it is what it is. Okay? I mean, you're watching other teams like Seattle and the Bears and the Jets and the Lions and the Texans and the Jaguars, and you're praying for them to win games so that we could maybe slide up just one more spot, man. Could we just move up one more spot? Like, yo, the difference of going from a 5 and a 6 to a 4 and a 5. God forbid we somehow landed at a 3, it would be like almost like winning a Super Bowl right now, right? Does that tell you how fucking awful we've become? The disgrace of a football team we've become. And we're talking about us, the New York Football Giants, 4-time Super Bowl champs, Flagstaff, one of the top organizations in the league, an owner that has founded this league with the Rooneys, the Maras and the Rooneys. You see where we are? And the only positive you're getting out of these games right now is that the more games we see without Daniel Jones, the more Daniel Jones' stock is rising. How much do you miss the guy now when you can't score more than 3 points a game? When you're watching quarterbacks miss wide open wide receivers by a good 8 to 10 yards, lollipop interceptions by this tall, skinny weirdo. How this guy has robbed the league, Glennon, for all these years. I gotta give him credit just for that, man. For you to be able to be a fraud for that long and fool the entire league, I gotta clap to that, man. The man's a shyster. And just a thought in my head today. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Judge, he already knew he was coming back weeks ago. And now Mara's leaking it to the media because that's his way of breaking it to the fan base through the media that Judge is coming back with Abraham. And if that's the case, which it is, Judge will be running this team. It's now his organization. And Abraham will be doing the money thing, and he'll be the sidekick. And that's the way you want to go, that's fine. But that's Mara's way of leaking it out because he knows the fan base is irate. And, man, that plan doesn't sit well with this fan base. So his way of leaking it out early, before he gets up to the podium when the season's over and announces it officially, it already been leaked out 3 weeks ago, today. So by then, he softened the blow for this fan base. So he doesn't have to get up there and get destroyed. Because we already knew. But don't think for a second that Daniel Jones wasn't put on the shelf for the rest of the season, 4 weeks ago? Don't think Judge wasn't pre-thinking. Let me show this fan base what this offense is without Daniel Jones. So I don't have to make that hard of a case why Daniel Jones is coming back. And listen, I'm a fan of Daniel Jones, and I think he's so much better than he's shown. And yes, the offensive line has done him nothing and has destroyed Barkley's career. So far. I won't call it a career, but hampered Barkley big time. I mean, he looks like he's lost a little step. That's from the knee, and he's lost confidence. And every time he gets a handoff, he gets blown up in the backfield. You got to know, and I hope Judge sees this, that the entire league knows when Barkley's getting the ball just as they line up in formation, just by formation, man. I know, you know, the whole league knows. You got to make the changes next season. You're going to have to change the playbook. And you can't even get angry. We are so sad and bad that we've already accepted it. Don't win a game, man. Winning a game ain't going to do anything for us. Just lose out. I get it. The Giants and the Bears play each other next week, so the outcome doesn't matter. Either way, we would gain a little something with one of the picks. That's fine. And we can't control the picks by rooting one way or another. And no, we're not going to sit in front of the TV and root for our team that we love to death to lose. And yes, this defense is giving you everything it has. All its heart and guts. You hold the Eagles to 3 for 2.5 quarters. What else can you ask for? I saw this D go to Kansas City and hold that team down for 3 quarters. We've seen it a lot of times this year. But when you're a defense and you have to hold, going into these last few games that you have to hold the team to like 6 points and still hope that maybe you get to win. Yeah, man, there's only so much the D can take of that anymore, and they've been on the field for so damn long. How many times did the Giants start this game today around the 50-yard line and come away with no points? And you can't sit here and tell me that if Daniel Jones wasn't on the field today, even with the horrible, worst O-line in the league, that he wouldn't have put up at least 10 or 13 points in that first 2 quarters. And we only came away with 3. We were living on their side of the field the whole half, come away with 3. Man, there's no reason to even go into it. We all know what it is, man. This draft, I make a case, will be the single most vital draft in New York Giants history. This draft will either turn us around and make us, or this franchise is broken and is about to embark on a Cleveland Browns 15-year run. I still trust Mara. He's still a good owner. He still wants to win. He's still giving us that in the past. And I believe I'm going to go with his plan. I think we turn it around. This draft is huge. We know what we need. Keep most of this D together. Try to get one of these top defensive ends. And then you better not even look at anything else but O-linemen. You better be doing your homework and scouting like an animal right now, Joe Judge. You have no line outside of Thomas. You go stack this O-line. You try to develop Isaiah Wilson. You hope to get a Nick Gates back. You do all that, we could turn this around next year. Because we have the weapons and we have a defense. And I believe Daniel Jones, behind a real O-line, would have a run game with Barkley, Booker, or whoever else you bring in here. And he would be the play-action quarterback that he was meant to be. And up until now, he has not been allowed to be that. Man, my fans out there, I appreciate you guys. I love all the guys I get to stream with. Can't do it anymore, man. It's hard for me to sit and watch these games and literally hope we lose. So I might be watching the games, but I also, for the first time in my life in 36 years, might not. I might watch the Bears game, but I might pass on the Washington game. Because we are watching a lifeless, meaningless 2 football games coming up. I call it 2 black games. And I don't want to do it anymore. So the next biggest date in the NFL season for me is the NFL draft.